Warkworth Castle is a ruined medieval castle dating largely from the 12th to 15th centuries, perched high above the River Coquette in the ancient village of Warkworth, about 7 to 8 miles east of Morpeth, less than a mile inland from the North Sea. It's regarded as one of the finest surviving Middle Ages castles in north-east England, striking for its sprawling walls, powerful cross-shaped keep, and dramatic riverside setting. The very earliest settlement and construction history isn't certain. Some accounts link the initial fortification to Prince Henry of Scotland in the mid-1100s, while others suggest it was built or expanded under King Henry II of England when he secured the northern counties. By the early 1200s, it was well established as a stone fortress with defensive walls and towers, a classic motte and bailey layout. Warkworth's most famous chapter began in 1332, when it passed into the hands of the powerful Percy family, who would become earls and later dukes of Northumberland. The Percys added the castle's imposing keep in the late 1300s, a structure still spectacularly intact today, and made Warkworth their preferred home for generations. Historically, the castle also features in Shakespeare's Henry IV through the figure of Harry Hotspur Percy, whose exploits border on legend and myth. Over the centuries, Warkworth endured border conflicts with Scotland, during which it was besieged and repaired. Its ownership passed out and back to the Percys during the Wars of the Roses. By the time of the Tudors and the English Reformation, the castle had started to deteriorate, and focus shifted to bigger seats like Alnwick. During the English Civil War, it was damaged again, and partly stripped of iron and wood to prevent reuse. After the 17th century, its military importance faded and it became increasingly a ruin. In the 19th century, interest in preserving historic castles grew, and restorations were carried out, especially on the keep. Eventually the estate passed with the Percy family into the Dukes of Northumberland, and in 1922 English Heritage, then the Office of Works, took custody of the castle. Since then it's been conserved as a scheduled monument and Grade 1 listed heritage site. Visitors now can explore the towered curtain walls and extensive ruins of the Outer Bailey. The cross-shaped medieval keep, unusually complete and accessible, you can climb inside and see multiple floors, great hall, kitchens and chambers. The Duke's rooms, restored interior spaces once used for hosting and lavish receptions, with a quirky history of an 18th century furniture fraud story. And free audio guides and trails that bring the castle's lengthy history to life. Just outside the castle, the village of Warkworth is very scenic with independent shops, cafes, pubs and medieval buildings. The River Coquette loops around the site and invites riverside walks. Warkworth Hermitage, a unique medieval rock chapel, reachable by a short riverside walk and boat, is part of many visit experiences, open seasonally. Nearby there's also a 14th century stone bridge with a fortified gateway, unique in England. Warkworth sits close to Warkworth Beach, a long, sandy dog-friendly beach, just a short walk away. There's the Northumberland Coast AONB, area of outstanding natural beauty, famed for walks, wildlife, and dramatic coastline. Today, the castle is managed by English Heritage and open regularly with facilities, events, gardens and trails. Visitors climb up through the ruins and get excellent views over the river and surrounding countryside. Frequent entry deals, family tickets and seasonal offers are typical. Charmingly set against a backdrop of village life, rolling hills and woodland, its less polished castle museum and more authentic, atmospheric medieval stronghold, people often describe it as one of the best ways to imagine life in a real medieval fortress. Warkworth Castle is one of Northumberland's most significant medieval sites. It is a fortress with deep ties to the powerful Percy dynasty, it is a site of war, rebellion, peace and centuries of history. It is a dramatic ruin with excellent visitor access today, and is set in a classic English village with riverside walks and beaches.